Hello everybody, what's happening? Welcome back to another video. So we got the match preview, Real Madrid versus Real, taking place tomorrow, really. It's going to be at the Santiago Bernabeu. So first game at home, see what happens. Obviously, I think everyone's expecting a win at this point, but just never know, But no, to be honest, let's be honest. I'm expecting to win. I'm expecting us to win comfortably, well. I would, if I had to give a match prediction, the goals are going to be pretty high. But let me get into just a few of the details here about tomorrow's game. So obviously, there's no Luka Modric. He's, obviously the red card from last time. He's not going to be in the squad. So Dani Carvajal is back. So Carvajal is going to be in the lineup. Mendy's back from injury, so I think Mendy might be in the squad. No Hazard, obviously. No Asensio. No Brahim Diaz, and there you have it. That's pretty much the injury list as far as that goes. Obviously, Dani Carvajal is back, so he will take the place of the dreadful Odriozola. But no, it's all right. It's all right. Hopefully, he comes back and gets his form back. I did want to talk about the press conference a little bit. I know Zinedine Zidane had a few words to say. Holy shit, like the username. I'm glad to see you're back. Yeah, I remember your comment about the haircut, and I'm trying to get to it. Obviously, I was quite busy these past few weeks, so not able to get to it, but I got you. Holy shit, I will get a haircut pretty soon. Jonas says, I think this will be hard. Lunin is a reflex keeper, and Valladolid likes to sit deep. Yes, I think we cannot underestimate Valladolid. Any team in La Liga, I think we cannot underestimate. Holy shit says, nice glasses. Thank you, actually. They're basically just for the blue light. Sometimes I get dry eye because of the light emanating from the computer screen, so that's why I have the glasses. Little Soccer League Academy says nice glasses is finally back, and Jonas says Harry Potter. I used to get that. I used to get that a lot in middle school. People used to call me Harry Potter all the time, and I had these big glasses similar to Harry Potter. So yeah, I used to get that a lot in middle school. I guess now too with glasses. Matthias says it's Friday. It's Friday finally. I know, right? Man, it's good to be out on the weekend. I'm starting school pretty soon, actually, which kind of sucks. But you know what? It is what it is. I can't just be sitting out all day, doing nothing. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm starting school pretty soon. Let's see. So yeah, as Jonas was saying, it's gonna be a pretty difficult game, and I think so too. Especially, I think Lunin's gonna be playing. There's no Real Madrid have not included that clause where the players cannot play against our team or anything like that. So Lunin is going to play. It's going to be hard. Valladolid likes to sit deep, so obviously it's going to be hard to break him down. Hopefully we can just stretch the pitch a little bit and find gaps and spaces or something along those lines. But 4-3-3, I think we'll be able to do that, especially that we're playing at home. That plays a lot to our advantage. So I think with that into consideration, I think we should do fairly well. But like Jonas was saying, we cannot underestimate him. Matthias says, I wish we loaned Vinicius instead of Kubo. Yeah, that's what I always said, Matthias, that Vinicius I think Vinicius on a loan would have been very, very good. However, if he's not loaned out, then what I would like to see from Vinicius is him getting a lot of minutes here at the club. Whether that's for an injured Hazard, whether that's on the right or something along those lines. What I would like to see for Vinicius is just getting minutes. That's what I want him to see. I don't want his development to be hampered because it would it's not that it would ruin the player, but it would, his development is very, very important, and especially, for a player like that who's not the finished product yet, we want to see development, and he has to just be constantly on the field playing. Little Soccer League Academy, did you make a video on Houssem Aouar? I haven't yet, Little Soccer League Academy, sorry about that. I do have it on my list, however, so I am going to make it. Just been busy with work, so it's been kind of tough, like my schedule at work, it's been up and down, and it's like they asked me to work here, so it's kind of difficult, but I will do it. I do have it in mind, Little Soccer League Academy. You will probably see it. I'm not going to go live. It's just going to be pre-recorded content, but you will see one pretty soon. Holy shit said, I had glasses as well, but my sister punched me and broke them. I'm sorry, holy shit, that sucks. Hopefully, I hope you got new ones, or I hope you got contacts or something like that. I know I had contacts for a while, and that worked out pretty good, to be honest. Contacts are very good. The only thing is that make sure if you get contacts, take him out after 12 hours or something along those lines, because if you don't, you start having eye problems. Little Soccer League Academy says, I think you should start a video series on reacting to players, especially young ones. I think that's a good idea, Little Soccer League Academy. I think I'm going to start doing that. And the reason I didn't want to do it too much is because, I don't like taking people's content, or I don't, especially that, with all the copyright stuff on YouTube, you're just always apprehensive when it comes to, taking a video and putting it on yours, because, YouTube are just, they're very, how can I say it? It's just, they're always on you, so that's the thing that I don't like about. But I will try to I'm trying to, I'm trying to work with that, I guess. And Jonas says, Zidane ruined Vinicius. Well, Vinicius, we can't say that just yet. It's very, very early days, but I don't think Zidane has the same confidence that he has, or I don't think that Zinedine Zidane has the same confidence in Vinicius that Solari had in Vinicius. And, I think that's a little bit normal. I think Vinicius, will grow, and he needs to develop. He needs to mature. And, I would say the onus is on Vinicius now to really take his game to the next level. If he can do that, then I think he can impress Zidane, but at the moment, he's not ready yet, but if he can get minutes here and there in different positions, I think that would be great, especially for injured players. We know that Gareth Bale only plays 60% of the season, so if he can play, the other 40%, and if he can get Hazard's place, a few times when he's injured, like this month, obviously, or if he can get Benzema when he's injured, yeah, that would be great for him. Matthias says, yeah, do it so you can be different. Yeah, yeah, Matthias, that's a good point. Yeah, like I said, I reiterated, I do want to be kind of different from the other fan channels. Obviously I like going live, and I'll probably do more live streams, something along those lines. But, United Stand pretty much goes live all the time. And, I have to say, what I have to say about Mark Goldbridge is that, he's got a lot of critics, I have to say about that. But what I have to say about Mark Goldbridge is that I actually like him. I actually like what he's done with the United Stand. Although he rambles, he kind of rants and things along those lines. What I have to say is that, he's a very creative kind of person. I really, you could see that he's really worked hard to get where he's at today, I guess. And that's what I really like about Mark Goldbridge. And sometimes, although sometimes he's very critical on his on the people that comment, I think he's a good person in general. Holy shit, I hate saying what time is it where you live? Because it's really late where I live. I live in Iowa, actually. I used to live in San Diego, but I moved out here for school. It's 7:38 here. Yeah, it's pretty, it's not too late. I'm sorry, holy shit. I'll try to come up with different times, hopefully I could, I know on the weekends it's a little bit earlier, and then the match reactions is just right after the game. Little Soccer League Academy says Vinicius needs to develop, but his preferred position is the left wing. Also, did you hear the news? We're interested in Marc Roca. I did hear about that. A young, very good defensive and central midfielder. Good to know. I have seen some of his stuff. From what I've seen, he's not really, I would say, impressed me all a lot. But you know what? He's young. He's 22, and he could be good. He's got experience in La Liga. Like I said, I haven't seen much of him, so I can't really give a good judgment about him, but I've heard a lot of good things, so he could definitely be one for the future. Jonas says Mark Goldbridge is cool. Yeah, definitely. I really do like Goldbridge. I have to say he's very fair, very funny. Maybe what I would have to say is, he can be a little bit critical towards his subscribers and things along those lines. But yeah, like I said, what I like about him is really that he worked really, really hard on the United Stand, and basically, at the time it was Full-Time Devils that had like all the Manchester United fans, and he was basically, Mark Goldbridge came in, was able to take all that subscriber, all those subscribers, essentially, and I thought that was quite interesting. And Matthias says, I love watching him. The way he talks is really nice. Yeah, the way he talks is really nice, I have to say. Especially I think what he said before in the past is, if I'm not mistaken, is that he dropped out of school when he was around 16 or something along those lines, and then he kind of worked his way up, and he's worked in different job positions and things along those lines. But the way he talks, you'd think he'd come out of graduate school or something along those lines, because he really expresses himself in a very eloquent manner, I'd have to say. Let's see. So, anyways, getting into the game. I'm kind of rambling on. Getting into the game, I do want to talk about the press conference a little bit. I know that there were questions about Keylor Navas. I know there was questions about James Rodriguez. So the first question was, Do you contemplate it? Do you see the squad without Keylor Navas? Zinedine Zidane, he said no, he's a Real Madrid player. He's an important player, always has been an important player, and always will be. I don't contemplate this possibility. So, we were seeing Keylor Navas he sent in a transfer request. He's going to leave to PSG, things along those lines. So now it's been confirmed by Zinedine Zidane that he's not going to leave. He's going to be an important figure at Real Madrid. And to be honest, we needed Keylor Navas because essentially Keylor Navas he's better than Courtois at the moment. Courtois is not. For me, Courtois I don't know if he needs a little bit more time. I don't know if he needs to assimilate to the culture, ironically. But no, I don't know what's going on with Courtois. But you know what? We have to be a little bit patient. Like Caesar was saying, not Courtois, but Keylor Navas had a very, I would say, difficult first season. So I think Courtois will come good. But, I think at the moment it's just Keylor Navas needs to be that first goalie. But I don't think we'll see that really. Let's see here. So, Matthias says, did you hear about the rumor about James and Bale and Navas for $100 million? I did hear about that, Matthias. And to be honest, I was questioning the veracity of it. I really don't know if it's very, very... Is it true that they really did that PSG really rejected those players plus $100 million? I mean, it would kind of surprise me, to be honest, because you got Keylor Navas, which is potentially what PSG need, and then Gareth Bale and James Rodriguez are two big names. Yes, they do have inflated wages, but I have to say they're two big names, and it's $100 million cash. I mean, I don't know how you can refuse that. I mean, PSG are just out of their mind if they refuse that. I don't know if it's something that they're trying to put out so that way, maybe Barcelona can make a move or something along those lines. I don't know what's going on, but to reject that, I mean, it would be quite surprising, to be honest. So I don't know, and it's coming from one source, and that's L'Equipe, and really what all the reports have been saying is, it came from that one source. So I don't know if it's true or not, and that source is from France. So I don't know if it's true or not. I'm questioning it quite a bit. Let's see. The next question, obviously, the next questions that Zinedine Zidane had was, is it true that the last few days he said he's wanted to leave Keylor Navas? And then he said no, he's here and it's from outside. We can't control it. He's here and he wants to play with the rest of us. He wants to prove he's good like everyone. He's working hard in this aspect. And this is very important for a coach. He's a professional. He's always has been. We have a lot of games and I'll be counting on him. So we'll probably see Keylor Navas quite a bit this season. Obviously we do have a lot of games to play in the season. So I think that's good, because we need Keylor Navas, Obviously, like I said, Courtois at the moment, a little bit worrying. Jonas says, I'm worried about our winger areas because we need to depend on inconsistent Hazard to lead our line. It's ridiculous. You have a good point, Jonas, with the inconsistency of Hazard. I think a lot of people they overlook that. And yes, Hazard can be inconsistent. What I have to say is, coming here to Madrid, I think he will be a little bit more consistent, but he could be inconsistent at times. And I have always had that worry about Eden Hazard. But we do need to get someone else to relieve that pressure from Eden Hazard. I don't want to see Eden Hazard lead the line because he's not that kind of player, We do need someone like Neymar, like you were saying, Jonas. I would like to see Neymar at the club because he'll bring in goals, he'll bring in assists, and yeah, he'll be cynical, but you know what? At the end of the day, if he's to pursue his own success, his own interests, ultimately he will help the team. Holy Shit says, I would like to see Jovic play a full game tomorrow. I like Jovic, to be honest, but what I have to say about Jovic is he's a player who likes to finish, and that's pretty much what he's good at. So he'll play in the box, and things along those lines. But what I like about Benzema is he's very, very dynamic, and he'll drop in midfield, and he'll play on the wings, whereas Jovic doesn't really do that. So although I do like Jovic, I have to say that Benzema, at the moment, he can offer more to a team, and it's nothing bad. It's just that at the moment we don't. I don't know if we have the quality service to give to Jovic. I don't know about our wingers. Are they really up to? Can they really provide those good services for Jovic to finish? I mean, it would be great, but at the moment, I like Benzema. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm biased and I like him as a player. Let's see. There was a question about Neymar. I don't want to talk about it too much, obviously. But Zinedine Zidane said, you can make questions, but we have our squad. I only have tomorrow's game in mind. Obviously, Neymar just being linked to us all the time. And I still think for some reason he's going to go to Barcelona, and maybe it's just me, and I know that Barcelona technically don't have the money, but what I want to say about that is that Barcelona, they're going to find a way to make this happen. If they really want to bring Neymar to the club, I still have a feeling they're going to find a way to make this happen. I know that the president doesn't really fancy him, But Messi, Suarez being there, they do wield a lot of power in terms of authority, in terms of say. So I think they can maybe persuade the president. I know they don't have the money, but something like a loan or something, maybe. You never know. You never know. Let's see. There was another question about Modric, or there was a question about Modric, and obviously Modric is going to be suspended. And then he was asked, what do you think of the new rule? What he had to say, it's a shame because he didn't have the intention. That's the most important part from Luka. He's a clean player. Sometimes these things can happen. It happened the other day. However, that was not his intention, and I'm convinced. Yeah, it's obviously alluding to the red card. And obviously, obviously we could see it was non-intentional. It was very, very benign. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just, very, very accidental. But, by the letter of the law, it is a red card. And what I have to say is with the new rule, it is a red card, unfortunately. So looking back on it, I guess it is a red card, I have to say. Jonas says, let's see. Matthias says, Hazard, Jovic, Bale is what I want to see. Yes, actually, that would be good. Actually, if you have Hazard and Bale on the wings, I think they can provide good service to Jovic, and I think Jovic would be able to finish those kinds of chances. So I would like to see as Matthias. I think that's a good front three there. The only thing with that is that Bale gets injured about 60% of the season. 40% of the season. So we can't just rely on Bale. We have to have someone else as a backup. And whether that's Vinicius or not, or someone else, then we'll just have to see. But yeah, that's a good one, Matthias. Let's see. So there was a question from Dermot Corrigan. I believe he works for ESPN. He said that Garrett's game is the kind of game he needs to continue in, and if he plays like this every week, will he be an important figure? And it was Zinedine Zidane. He said that's right. The other day he had a good game, but just not at the level we all know defensively, which is important. We have to continue the same trajectory. Gareth as well, all of us, because we have to grow more, and all the players will be important. There are players that want to work and have the quality. So I think that was good words from Zinedine Zidane, actually alluding to Bale, just because, obviously Gareth Bale was very, very good, but I think defensively he was also good. And I think Zinedine Zidane really reiterated that about that work rate, and sometimes we didn't see that so much last season, but, that first game this season, we already saw that. So hopefully he does continue in this kind of, trajectory, in this kind of way, because obviously he's a world-class player, and on days like that, we would need someone like that. He changes the game like no one else, at the moment that we have in our squad. Let's see. The next question was, it was obvious that he was more out than in. What changed with Gareth? And has the board told you a few days to please count on him? And then as Zidane said, no, the only thing that's changed is that he will stay, because the interest for us is that the player, firstly, is that he stays. And it's true there were a lot of factors, me included, stating about this. But now the important factor is that he wants to stay, and we will count on him, and he will be important. He has showed this, and now what he needs to do is show it again and show the player that he is. So, like I said, very good words, about Gareth Bale. I think that was the big factor, that he was staying. And you know what? I think that Zinedine Zidane, although... oh, shoot, I got some comments. Let me just get to it. So, although Zinedine Zidane... what I have to say is, man, I lost my train of thought right now. Let me get to the comments, actually. I did see quite a few comments. Let's see. So Matthias says, what is the new rule for the red cards? I think even if it's deliberate or not, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong. I think if it's deliberate or not, I think what happens is, it's still a red card. If you're going to step on someone like that, like Modric did, it's still going to be a red card, no matter, even if it's accidental, even if it's, the intention was benign. Ultimately, it's going to be a red card. I think that's the new rule, but I'm not sure, Matthias. Don't take my word on it. I just think that's what it is. Mosen says, "What's up, dude? Man, what's up, my man? It's been a while. I've been trying to get on and just work here and there. So it's tough. It's tough." Recap of what you said so far. Yeah, I'll recap really quickly. We were talking about Mark Goldbridge earlier, but let's see. What did I want to say? I did want to say a few things about the press conference. Obviously, Keylor Navas. There was a little thing about Keylor Navas leaving. He had his transfer request, and it seems like he's going to stay. So that the transfer of Keylor Navas, I think that's out of the question. I know Modric was suspended for the upcoming game, and then Zidane was asked, "What do you think of the new rule?" And he said it's a shame. There was no intention, but it is what it is. And then I think that's pretty much it. I didn't talk too much, but that was pretty much all I said. Let's see here. I hope James can play. Jonas says, I hope James can play. I would love to see James play. I know Isco right now. I put Isco in the starting lineup, but what I have to say is that James is a quality player, and if we can see him play tomorrow, that would be fantastic. I think he offers us something different, and yeah, hopefully he can play tomorrow. I think he'll come on. I have a feeling James will play tomorrow, but it's going to be as a substitute. I don't think he'll come on starting. Mohsen Hamid says, why Mark Goldbridge? No, good things about Goldbridge, to be honest. Look, Goldbridge, what I had to say about him was, although he can be somewhat critical to his subscribers, what I have to say is that I really admire the work that he's put into the United Stand, and the way he's kind of, taken the United Stand, and I don't know, there's something about his personality that makes him very, I would say, likable, and yeah, maybe some people say he's an ass, he's this, he's that, but I have to admire him. I have to admire his work. I really like what he's done with the United Stand, and I think that's all I had to say about him. Yeah, so good things, obviously. Nothing too critical about him. Let's see. So there was a couple more questions that I want to get into, and that's going to be it for the press conference, and that's probably going to be the end of that. But Mohsen Hamid says Reguilon went off on a stretcher after a clash of hands, but he was discharged immediately. I forgot to talk about that. So, yeah, I did see that. So hopefully Reguilon does recuperate well. I think he's going to spend the night in the hospital, so hopefully he does well. What I saw from Reguilon in the other game, I did watch the Sevilla match a little bit, where I have to say he looked fantastic, Reguilon. So I think he will. I think he'll come good for Madrid, and hopefully we can see him. Hopefully we can see him continue in this kind of form, because he's been very good at Madrid, and I think he will continue doing good. Jonas says, I hope James and Isco play together because they can drop defensive line with creativity. Yes, that would be good, actually. They can bring a lot of creativity, and that's something, obviously, that we're lacking at the moment. Maybe Isco can play as a little bit as a center midfielder, help defensively a little bit, but obviously Isco's more of a cam, but yeah, hopefully something along those lines, or maybe Isco on the right, James as a cam, something along those lines could be good. Mohsen says, it's crazy our players are getting injured, even the ones loaned out. Actually, that's been something that I want to talk to, is that it is kind of worrying that the players are getting injured so much, and I have to say we have to question the fitness team a little bit, in that these players are getting they're getting injured quite a bit, and we weren't seeing this before, so there's something that has gone awry, I would say. Mohsen says, fair enough. Yes, I'm assuming you're talking about Goldbridge. Yeah, he's I like to call him reggaeton. Yeah. Mohsen says, does anyone know the deadline for transfers in Spain? I believe it's September 2nd. So I believe you have, 2 weeks or something along those lines? Not too much time left, but, is it not even 2 weeks left? I'm going to check. A week and a half, not even. So not a lot of time left, Mohsen, for that deadline. We're going to see what happens to Neymar. I don't know what's going to happen. For some reason or another, I still think he's going to go to Barcelona, and I know Barcelona can't afford it. I know that, but I still have a feeling Barcelona are still going to try to find a way to afford him, and they're still going to try to get him. I don't know how they will do it, but I have a feeling that something's going to happen. So, obviously he's if Neymar cannot make the Barcelona operation happen, then he will come to Real Madrid. That's what I think. If he can't make it happen, he'll come to Real Madrid. That's for sure. Hello, Magistral Madrid. Welcome. Good to see you. Like the video, Magistral Madrid. If you guys don't know the channel, Magistral Madrid has some great Real Madrid content. So, make sure to check it out. Mohsen says, I'm wondering who we'll get if we do. I don't know. We'll have to see. I know the deadline is approaching, and it doesn't seem like we're being linked to anyone concretely, other than maybe Neymar, who, yes, we are being linked to him, but it's not concrete as of yet, because you have kind of Barca as an impediment. But we'll have to see. It seems some people are really sure that Neymar is going to come to Madrid, but we'll have to see what happens. Mohsen says, Jonas says 9 days of Neymar stories. Yeah, the Neymar is a bit, it is, what's a good word for it? Prolonged. Yeah, it is a bit, I think Caesar had the right word, and it was overbloated. It was, it's too much. Magister Madrid says, I think by Friday Neymar is a Madrid player. Bucket. Phew, Friday, huh? Is that next Friday? Yeah, that's a week. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think Neymar, I do see him moving to somewhere else by next Friday. Whether that's Madrid or Barcelona, we'll have to see. But hey, someone's got to be right? I think I think Caesar was saying he might stay at PSG. Manchester Madrid saying Neymar's going to come to Madrid. I'm saying that he still might go to Barcelona. We'll just have to see. Someone's got to be right in all of this, and someone's going to have to take the L. Or two people are going to have to take the L. I might have to take the L. Mohsen says, we became linked with Mark Roca. Yes, someone was talking about that earlier. I believe it was Little Soccer League Academy, and I have seen a little bit of him. Highlights. Obviously, I haven't seen something too impressive of him. But you know what? He's young. He's played in La Liga. He's got experience. Why not just do it? Obviously, it's always a risk. Yara Mendy was someone like that. But you know what? It's a risk, and it's risk worth taking. Mohsen says, I asked not too long ago if he knew him, but looks like he's going to Bayern. He's been linked with Bayern for almost a year, 40 million buyout clause. Mohsen, I think that the Bayern talks have stalled, so I think there is a possibility that Real Madrid can get him, can acquire his services. So I think what happened with Bayern is that they didn't want to pay the buyout clause just because they thought it was a bit too expensive. But I don't know. That was the news from a couple days ago. So maybe now it seems like he's going to go to Bayern. Holy shit says, did you ever cry after seeing your team lose? That's a good question. Holy shit, I like that. I don't think so. I don't think I ever cried after seeing my team lose. We won so much in these past few years, but I think the defeat versus Ajax really left me in a dismal kind of state. That one was really bad. It didn't make me cry, but it was really bad. It left me the whole day. It was a horrible day. I never want to relive that again. Mohsen says it's ridiculous, Neymar's transfers. How could it be done and dusted in 9 days considering the magnitude and numbers involved? You know what? When there's a will, there's a way, Mohsen. And I think Real Madrid and Barcelona, they will make it happen, Mark my words on this. Someone will make it happen. Scenes when Neymar stays at PSG. For real. Seriously. And it could just be a possibility that Neymar just stays at PSG somehow. That's still a possibility. It's just ridiculous. Matias says, imagine Hazard, Neymar, false nine, and Bale. Oh my gosh. Talking about a lineup. That's a FIFA lineup right there. Magister Madrid says, I would love Roca. Mariano was linked with Espanyol, but that deal looks dead. Yeah, Mariano's been linked to several clubs, and it seems like there's a couple deals that might just happen, but I think we'll have to see. I think Mariano could prove to be quite an important, not important, but I would say he could, get minutes here and there. And what I have to say is that, if we do play a 4, actually, it doesn't seem like we'll play 4-4-2, but if we do play a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2 or something along those lines, someone gets injured, Benzema or Jovic, then Mariano could become, not an important figure, but he could have some minutes. Magister Madrid says Matias Benzema has to start. Matias, Benzema gets a lot of stick, and Benzema, I really like he's very, very dynamic, and that's what I like about Benzema. We take it for granted a lot. And Mohsen says 40 million is peanuts for us. Yeah, definitely. I know, it's not a lot of money. And Matias says Benzema is average. Benzema, the thing with Benzema, Matias, you do have a point, is that Benzema is inconsistent. We cannot overlook that. His finishing is questionable at times, especially for a number 9. That finishing, can you, but you know what? He is a very dynamic player, and that's what I like that from him. But I'd probably take Neymar, Benzema for ability. Yes, that's good. And Mohsen says, I cried after 4-1 in 2013. I do remember that one. I was a mess in the second leg, too, after we almost came back. Wow, that's crazy. I remember that game. That was one of the first games that I watched from Real Madrid, and I have to say that one really took me by surprise. Jonas says 40 million overpriced, given that Marc Roca is improving. Yeah, that's a good point, Jonas. It's a lot of these players, they have a few good games, and it's like their value just it increases exponentially, and I guess that's the volatility of today's market, but it's just way too much. It just increases way too much, and I don't know. Marc Roca, like I said, I haven't seen anything impressive from him, but he does play in La Liga. Some people have said he looks solid. He could be one for the future, so why not just take the risk, I guess? But Jonas has a good point. He's not yet proven, completely. Manchester Madrid says Benzema is key to how we play. It would be Hazard, Benz, Bale, and then Hazard at camp. Yes, Benzema, I like that he contributes so much to the team, but he can be inconsistent. But he does contribute so much to the team. And, I think sometimes those inconsistencies, it's down to the fact that he contributes in different ways. He's not necessarily always a goal scorer. He contributes in, passing the ball around, dropping down in midfield, providing width, playing on the wing. So I do like that about Benzema for sure. Mohsen says, I really want Van de Beek. I don't think Van de Beek's going to come, to be honest. But, yeah, the deal could be stalled right now until Ajax qualify for the CL. Well, it came from the coach, I believe, and it came from Van de Beek, actually. It came from Van de Beek that it seems like he's going to stay at the club. So those are pretty strong words, I guess, from someone who, we thought was going to leave. It seems like negotiations were taking place. But Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Sorry to say that. Manchester Madrid says Ten Hag said he's staying. Yeah, exactly. So, kind of a bummer, to be honest. I wish we would have gotten a midfielder in, but hey, Bruno Fernandes, there's another midfielder that could come to us, but I think Bruno Fernandes' links are a little bit, there's nothing concrete in them, so I don't know. James Rodriguez, there was a question about him at the press conference. So just a couple questions, guys, and that's going to be it. So James Rodriguez, there was a question about him, and then obviously Zidane said, you'll know tomorrow if he's starting. There are 3 that can occupy that position. You'll see tomorrow. The last question was, what changes have you seen since his time on loan? Referring to James Rodriguez. So Zidane said, same player who plays good football. We are happy to see him, and now we count on him. I just want to see from here on out, not the past. And he's happy to be back in Madrid, and we'll see how we'll organize because there are a lot of players. So obviously, those are good words from Zinedine Zidane. I really liked how, I would say, he didn't really jettison not the loanees, but he didn't really jettison the players who he could have very easily shunned. James Rodriguez, Gareth Bale, he could have easily said to the board, you know what, I don't want them. I don't want to go to the club. I don't want to play with them. So I think it's very good to see that Bale was incorporated into the team last week, and James Rodriguez, has a chance to play for Real Madrid. So I think this is really good, and that's something that I really like about Zinedine Zidane is that he gives a chance to everyone to prove themselves. And okay, to some extent, I would say no. But you know what? He gave Gareth Bale a second chance. He's giving James Rodriguez a second chance. That's what I really like about him, is that he's giving everyone that clean slate. And it's very, very important for those players to get a clean slate, because Gareth Bale, like I said, could have easily been ostracized from the club. James Rodriguez was another one, could have easily been shunned from the club. But instead, Zidane's deciding to use them. And I think if we have those players in our team, playing a few games here and there, not a few games, but they'll play a multitude of games. But obviously, Gareth Bale gets injured. But if you play them for a few games, I think they could be very, very important, especially for a title race. Especially, if we're to go for Champions Leagues, they'll get some game time for sure. And Manchester Madrid says Bruno is all false. I think he's extremely overrated. Thank you for that, Manchester Madrid. You go against the status quo, and I like that actually, because sometimes it's very easy to get on the bandwagon and say, you know what, it looks good, he's got all these assists, all these goals, but you know what, sometimes it's good to get another side to the coin. So thank you for that, Manchester Madrid. Mohsen Hamid says, what are your thoughts on the goalkeeper situation? Navas asking to leave and Hughes going for a veteran goalkeeper with many links such as Reina, Stecklenburg, and Subasic. I did see that, Mohsen. I saw even that we were linked to Kameni, one who was playing for Malaga a few years ago, who obviously was really good goalkeeper. I think he's playing for Fenerbahce or something along those lines now, so it seemed a little odd to me. But yeah, I did see those links. The goalkeeper position, I did address that earlier, Mohsen. I forgot to recap that, and it was obviously that Keylor Navas, I think, is going to stay. Oh, actually, no, not I think, but he is going to stay at the club. Zidane said he's going to be a Real Madrid player. He's an important player. Always has been an important player, and always will be. I don't contemplate this possibility of Keylor Navas leaving. That's what he had to say in the press conference. So very strong words. I think obviously Keylor Navas is going to stay at the club, so that's obviously a good thing. I don't think he'll be the first goalkeeper, but in any case, I think Keylor Navas, will play a few games here and there, and he's still got fuel left in the tank, like I said. Let's see. Mohsen says, I think we still could complete his deal. Maybe we're still considering our options and looking to offload some players. Yeah, we'll have to see. Matias says, I want to see Casemiro, CDM, Cruz, and James for the midfield 3. Yes, that's a good one, actually. Matias, I would like to see that as well. James can provide maybe, I don't want to say something else, but, maybe a little bit more creativity. He's got that left foot. He's really good. Yeah, James is really good. Mohsen says there was talk about Van de Beek joining in 2020, which is weird, maybe because Ceballos is having a fire. They're stalling. Actually, yeah, that's a good point, Mohsen. I think that's a weird one, I always thought that Dani Ceballos, it was not at the Real Madrid level yet. And when you saw him at Arsenal, it's a whole different player. It's a whole different player. I mean, what I saw from Dani Ceballos at Real Madrid was that I don't think he's ready. And then when you see him at Arsenal, he's just a completely different player. So I hope Ceballos can get that form and just bring it to Madrid, because he would. That Ceballos would be excellent for us. Mohsen says we need a midfielder. How would you feel if we didn't get one? I'm a bit worried, to be honest. I'm gonna back Zidane on this. Zidane, you gotta get it right, man. But 3 midfielders, right? We have Ceballos on loan, Kovac is sold, and Llorente sold, and we haven't bought one. So I'm worried about that one. We have to get a midfielder in. Manchester Madrid says, bring in Casillas as our backup goalkeeper, lol. That's a good one. I would love to see that, right? I think everyone would love to see that, just Casillas coming back to the club, but whoa. I don't know. I doubt it. Mohsen says he could be a strong possible in swapping to PSG if we get Neymar, because they genuinely could do with Navas. Yeah, I know. And I know, so I think it was Matthias who told me about the that PSG and PSG had rejected Gareth Bale, Keylor Navas, and James Rodriguez plus 100 million. That seems really odd to me that they would reject all those players plus 100 million, for Neymar. That seems really weird. I mean, especially that they need a goalkeeper, and Navas is a good goalkeeper still. Seems really weird. And Jonas says Ceballos is a mix of Modric and Iniesta. People have been saying that a lot, actually. That he's got a little bit of Iniesta in him. He's got a little bit of this. He's got a little bit of that. So, yeah, he could prove to be a good player. So, I would like to see Dani Ceballos. Hopefully, like I said, I think he'll have a good season at Arsenal so far. He started very good. What I have to say about Arsenal, we all know how they are. They start off very well. Once it gets probably quarter way in, it's not going to go well for them. But that's how Arsenal are. They're very good for a period of time. You're like, man, they're gonna win so many things this season, and next period of time, it's just horrible. So you just never know with Arsenal. It's a weird one with them. Mohsen says, let's see here. Mohsen says, I just think Zidane doesn't favor Ceballos really. I think that too. Actually, he has no other reasons to have not been playing him. I haven't seen it too much from Dani Ceballos. From what I saw Dani Ceballos at Real Madrid, I've seen him have glimpses of his quality, but I haven't really been convinced by him. So I do understand Zidane in that aspect, but I think there is something weird with Dani Ceballos and Zidane. I don't know what it is, but there is something there. And Matthias says, thank God we didn't put an option to buy for Ceballos loan contract. Man, that's an excellent point, Matthias. I'm so happy we didn't do that, because if we would have done that, it would have been a huge mistake. But you know what? It is the first game. We can't get too ahead of ourselves. He did have a good first game, but what I have to say is that I think he'll come good. I think he'll have a good season at Arsenal. And so, guys, I'm going to end it in 5 minutes. Just want to let you know, but I like this. I feel like being gone from 2 days kind of helped, actually, quite a bit. I'm getting a lot of questions, so that's kind of nice. And Mohsen says he's getting plenty of love from Arsenal fans, which is already worrying. Yes, yes, it is worrying. But I think Kovacic was kind of the same, and well, actually, Kovacic did leave to Chelsea. But if we really want him, and I think Dani Ceballos really wants to make his mark at Real Madrid, so I'm not too worried, to be honest. And Mohsen says maybe he'll want a transfer, although he said he wants to perform at Real Madrid. Yes. Yeah, I know Kovacic was like that, actually, where Kovacic in the middle of the season, he's like, I feel really appreciated here. I really like it here. I like the city, and he stayed finally. So, yeah, it could be something that could happen. Jonas says, by the way, I think if Zidane stays in Real Madrid, then Ceballos will be Arsenal next year. Seems like people are saying that quite a bit. Yeah, it's a possibility. You just never know. Mohsen says, I think PSG wants to spend the money straight away on a replacement. Talk of Dybala. Yes, there was some talk of Dybala. PSG, they want to spend. They want to get the money. That's all they want. They see money. They just want it, man. I don't know why, because they already have so much money. But you know what? Greedy as they can be, I guess they want more. I guess that's what it is, right? When you have money, you just want more, and it just becomes kind of a vicious cycle. Let's see here. Mohsen says Arsenal versus Liverpool tomorrow. Man, that's gonna be a good game. I think I'm gonna watch that a little bit, and that's gonna be quite exciting. But I think Liverpool are gonna take it. We know Arsenal, one good game and one bad game, so I think Liverpool will take it. But it can't be too fast. Arsenal can surprise us. You never know. Mohsen says, Matthias says, good stream. Thank you so much, Matthias. I really do appreciate that. Trying to get on every now, but, I think what will happen in the future is that I'll do some pre-recorded content along with some live streams. I'll always let you know, long ahead of time before I do a live stream or not. And what was the main reason for not being on, Dave? So the main reason why I wasn't on is because I had work, and, these days I need a little bit of money. I feel like I'm getting a little low on money, so especially to pay rent and things like that, man, I gotta, my financial situation isn't the best. So that's why I had to take on a few days at work, but today was a day off, so I'm kind of happy for that, actually. And holy shit, predictions on tomorrow's game. Thank you for that, holy shit, I really appreciate it. Tomorrow's game, I think it's going to be, that's an interesting one. I think we're going to leak one goal, and So I think it's going to be 1 for sure. And I think it's going to be 4-1. I'm going to predict 4-1, actually. I think we're going to score a lot of goals. But like Jonas said earlier, we cannot we cannot underestimate Valladolid. But what I have to say as a counter argument, we are at home. Real Madrid, it's probably the second game of the season. All the players, they want to prove that the preseason was just an anomaly. So I think we'll do good tomorrow. And Matias says, you know what I'm mad about? Having a football game that same time Real Madrid plays. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. It's all right, though. It's life, right? Sometimes I can't watch Madrid games as well. Sometimes whether I have work, whether I have homework, whether I have school, it's life, and you got to live your own life, Matias. That's what I have to say about that. So, live your own life. And, sometimes it's nice to live vicariously and, look at, Real Madrid or watch Manchester United, watch Arsenal. But at the end of the day, you know what? Just go out there, live your own life, do your own thing, Matias, because everyone has the same potential, just everyone has the same potential as anyone else. Molson says, I love this timing. I'm in bed and can come on here before I put my phone away. That's good. That's good. For some people, it's a little bit late. I know Holy Shit was saying that earlier. But some people make it, so I really do always appreciate that. And Jonas says, Arsenal, Liverpool will play same time as Real Madrid and Valladolid. Why? Man, now I'm going to watch Real Madrid, forget that. I know some people will watch Arsenal, but yeah. Mosin says, really so annoying, the timing. Yeah, it's crazy. And Mosin says, poor Matias. For real, man, Matias. Jonas says, Arsenal pool game start 30 minutes before Real. I can watch the first 30 minutes. I'll do that for sure. And Mosin says, there is a new TV deal here in the UK for viewership on La Liga. It's an awesome free channel, which I'm excited to watch it on. So I think that's for James Sulian. James Sulian, if you're going to watch this, make sure to check that out. So thank you for that, Mosin. We really appreciate it. And Matias says, we understand, man. Stream whenever you can. We all have problems to take care of. Yes, thank you so much, Matias. Like I said, really appreciate your kind words. And I really appreciate everyone's support. So it's very, very, very nice. And Moses says, indeed, man, we'll be here whenever you're on. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm going to end it there on a high note, guys. So like I said, thank you guys so much for, all the kind words, all the, appreciation. I'll always try to try to come out with some live streams. I'm going to come out with pre-recorded content. So it's going to be a bit of both, I say, and it's really to make the channel, to diversify the channel a bit, to make it, to make it very, I would say, kind of unique, kind of distinct from the other channels. Obviously you have United Stand and Anfield Agenda who like to go live a lot. And you have other channels, I think Talk FCB like to do pre-recorded content. So I'm going to diversify it a little, and I really want to make it just kind of distinct from the other fan channels. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to end it pretty much there. So thank you guys. Have a good night, to those people who are on at night. And then have a good evening. Have a good day, wherever you are. So thank you very much for coming on. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing the match reaction right after the game. So do look out for that. I'll be doing the match reaction right after the game. So I'll let you guys know when it is. But you'll probably see it. You'll see it on the schedule. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Thank you.